The Hubbard Ballroom at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center set the stage for an all-day celebration commemorating the 50th anniversary of a building that personified an era of rock and roll music.
Today's event is Saturday, October 8th, 2016, exactly 50 years to the date that the Grande Ballroom in the city of Detroit, Detroit's arbiter of performances, we are celebrating 50 years of continued rock and roll, psychedelia, and friendship that we formed at the Grande Ballroom.
The celebration included live music from bands that had played at the Grande and vendors that appealed to music lovers and others alike.
I didn't just want a reunion of people just standing around. I wanted this to be multi-generational, and I wanted it to be have many facets that anyone could enjoy. So I brought in a fashion show of hippie clothes, vintage, all kinds of wonderful things are for sale here as well. We have a vintage classic car show on display. We have a vintage Morgan from Great Britain. It's one of the rarest in the world, and we have one here. We have 50 vendors selling various paraphernalia and clothes and jewelry, makeup, and we have all kinds of Grande Ballroom original material that the vendors are selling. So this has got all kinds of added value to this 50th anniversary celebration.
In conjunction with the event was a month-long exhibition at the Pajeski Art Gallery that featured posters from many artists from around the country.
The Pajeski Gallery here in the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center was kind enough to give us this show. And in this art gallery show here, we have Lenny Sinclair's photography by John Collier. We have Carl Lundgren, original Grande Ballroom poster artist. Dennis Lauren. We have Mark Arminsky. And Gary Grimshaw, his artwork and his legacy is being kept alive by his widow, Laura. So that collective is in the gallery right now and it's been here for a month. It's magnificent.
In addition to the bands and vendors, another featured guest was local author Leo Early, who has dedicated many years to learning the rich stories the venue had to tell from the voices that were there to experience the raw and invigorating performances that could only be found at the Grande Ballroom.
I've worked on this book for 12 years. I got interested in the Grande Ballroom through family that went. I had older brothers and cousins that went in the 60s, but also, my dad went back in the 30s. So I always knew the legend of the Grande Ballroom, and being a musician, I got interested and started to dig into it around 2004, 2005. And created a website to share that information, and it snowballed because people started to email me at the website. I went to the Grande Ballroom. My folks met at the Grande Ballroom. My grandparents met at the Grande Ballroom. So people started sharing those stories with me, and I started to share them online with my website, and then that turned into a book. So it's very satisfying to know that I got it done in time, and I'm getting great feedback from everybody.
There was one local man that played a huge role in helping a generation of fans have once-in-a-lifetime experiences at the Grande.
Although the Grande Ballroom was a Detroit commercial venture, the connection with Russ Gibb is undeniable. They kind of go hand in hand. It's a huge number of kids in the rock era, and in my dad's era, came from Dearborn, went to the Grande Ballroom. It was the ballroom all those decades to go to on the west side.
There was music that we had never heard before, and Russ Gibb was bringing it to Detroit. It was an easily accessible place. We were able to see bands like The Cream, The Who, the Yardbirds who are playing here this evening. We'd get into these shows for like $2, and they would be all on the same bill sometimes. And they're still playing today, as is visible on the stage here in the Hubbard Ballroom.
With some of its roots stemming from within the Dearborn community, the center was an ideal space for this all-day celebration.
This is so amazing. I wanted it here from the very beginning. I wanted something really fun and nice and neat. This was my first choice. the Forge Community and Performing Arts Center. And the frosting on the cake was Russ Gibb, who is the person, the backbone behind all of this, knew about it. And he knew the mayor, Jack O'Reilly, and they got together and they were able to give us this at such a great rate and give us all of these wonderful added interests as well. Free parking, safe environment, lovely location, central between Detroit and the west side of the state. Everything, the Pajewski Gallery, this is so amazing. Everything about it is amazing, everything. I'm so happy to be here.